Hello and welcome to another episode of Light of Knowledge. In today's episode, we would like to think about what we overthink. Sometimes we overdo things. Sometimes we think that it is good to be sweet. Sometimes we become oversweet. Sometimes we think it's good to be strong. But what happens when we become overstrong? Sometimes it is okay to be peaceful, but what happens when you become peaceful forever? When you do not respond to people? Does it impact? It is a question that you can ask yourself as well. And how much to be peaceful, how much to be sweet, how much to be strong? Is there a balance there? Is a question for us to explore today. We have Brother Michel with us. Brother Michel, welcome to the show.
Okay, it's a pleasure to be with you, yes.
Like I said, sometimes it is a question of whether to be or to not to be. So everybody wants to be good. Everybody wants to be a nice person. But no matter who we are, who we try to be, but sometimes there are certain things that define us, certain qualities that are, I would say, inherent to us. For example, many people would call me a social person. Somebody would be a peaceful person. Somebody would be a happy person. Somebody would be a sweet person. So there are different ways how we define people depending on the qualities that a person has. But sometimes we also see that these qualities, no matter how good they may be, cause damage to the person. Not in literal sense, but there are consequences in their lives that they have to face because of these attitudes and qualities that they have within themselves. So what do you think about them? Is it really good to be sweet? Or is there a limit that at this point you must stop your sweetness? It's too much, it's an overdose. We don't want to die of diabetes.
Yeah. No, I will say, there is never a limit for any value.
Yeah.
You can go to the extreme of any value, it's fine. As long as you have the balance with the other value which also go to the extreme, So, but as you explained very nicely, the thing is, usually people, identified themselves so much with their role, For example, I'm a hard worker, or, I am an intellectual person, I'm a sportsman, and obviously, because they have that very strong identity of themselves, they develop one main quality which corresponds to that role, and they may go to the extreme of it, and then they become totally dependent, attached, even addicted to it. And it becomes a habit. And even when they finish their work, they still, against their conscious wish, keep on expressing because the habit has become so strong that the intellectual power doesn't have the power to say stop. The situation is different and I have to express myself in a different way at that time, So that is why, is that aspect of identification with the role will create that bondage with one specific value, which will create a disbalance, And as you speak about, yes, and we can see, in life you can see people always sweet with a gentle smile, and they're always like that, and they will say always, whatever you want from me, I'm there for you, always. And others are just giving you orders, do this, like that, not like this, And because they have that position of authority, and they feel great, and it's because I will say it's their main core value, and they cannot think that it can be another value, or they don't even have the power, maybe the capacity or the awareness that it can be something else, And that is why spiritual education is telling me that, yes, sweetness is absolutely good, because I'm not harming anyone. For my friends, they are so happy with me, they feel secure with me, they feel so easy and cool with me, So sweetness is I will even say sweetness is the greatest value, So, because to be sweet, you need so much internal power.
Yes, I agree to it. But when you say this, but there are times when people can misuse you. there are times when people can take advantage of you because, oh, I know him. He will say yes to everything. He's such a sweet person. He would never say no to me. So sometimes people take false advantage of you. So even though you might want to say no, but since it is your nature to say yes, to be sweet to other people, you would sacrifice your own needs and you would still continue to do it. And sometimes people play a predatory role. They take too much out of you.
Yeah. The thing is, for me, it's always good to say always yes. The thing is, when I say always yes because I'm weak inside, that is wrong. If I say always yes, but because I feel totally secure and very strong inside, not only I'm okay with saying yes and being sweet, but also people will catch my inner authority, my inner power, and they will understand that behind that sweetness, there is a very high, powerful personality. And then they will respect that because they have catch it, you know. And anyway, because the thing is, you know, we are in such a material world that people just see the appearance, and also they have become all superficial, you know. And then whatever was inside is little, and what is outside is big. You know,
yes.
You know, we make a big show externally, but internally I'm so small, you know.
But we show it off as if I am something
you know,
else.
I'm so great, I can do so much, you know, I'm so wise, you know, I'm so good, you know. But inside, you know, it's just there is not just a little bit of it, you know.
Yeah.
But if, you know, I have the inner, the same power, the same value that I show up, which I have inside myself, people will catch it. The thing sometimes we can describe, you know, a personality of someone with two fruit, you know, the mango fruit and the coconut fruit, you know. The mango externally is so sweet and soft, but inside the nut is totally strong, you know. And the coconut, you know, is outside very strong, but inside it's just cream and water, you know, so sweet, you know, means weak almost, you know. So, and that is, we should be a mango more than a coconut, because when you are sweet, it's the approach, you know, with people. People feel secure and easy with that. And if they start to give you a little trouble, then they touch the nut. They touch the strong part of you, you know, and say, oh my God, I didn't see that. Okay, it's better to stop here, you know.
Yeah.
But again, because we have become so superficial, you know, we have developed external quality, and we have totally forget to develop internal quality. And that is why, for me, you know, I have this understanding that, you know, in spiritual knowledge, we speak about power and value. And what is the difference in between power and value? Power, it's something for the internal. Value, it's something for relating to the external. So any value cannot exist properly if behind it there is not a power as a pillar to sustain your value, so to allow your value to express and to be in security with the external world.
So there is a balance between the power and the value.
Yeah, it means it's a conjunction. It's like they are like a good friend together. You know, they give good company together to be to work in a suitable way. Yes.
So you need to have this balance of if this is the value that I have, and there has to be a corresponding power to it.
Yeah.
So the balance is created. So it is both the inside and the outside are in sync with each other. So what are a few examples that we would want to know?
Yeah. For example, you know, you may have the power of tolerance, or anyway, the main power is the power of knowledge. Anyway, always. But with power of knowledge, you know, I can develop tolerance. I can develop the power to face. You know, for example, you know, I can give you, I can relate a very small example which happened to me when I was in a BR, you know, recently, just a few weeks back, you know. I went to buy some potato chips, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously, as I'm French foreigner, I didn't know the price, and the man where I buy the potato chips, you know, didn't speak English or French, obviously. And I say, and I buy 5 packs, you know, small packs of, And I say, with 100 rupees should be enough, for these 5 packs. Because I was thinking that maybe each pack is 20 rupees. So with 100 rupees should be enough. So I give the 100 rupees and I say, it's enough. And the man look at me in a very neutral way, take the notes, go in his office and put in the plastic bag and give me the plastic bag, saying nothing. And I may say, well, it must be the price, because he said nothing and he keep the 100 rupee, So I say, okay, it's fine, I pay, okay, it's fine. I say, okay, at least it's good. I give at least enough money for the potato chips. So I went, 200 meters away to eat some potato chips and give to some of my friends, some of them, And after eating 1-2 packs, but small pack, then the last pack, I watch it and I see the price, 5 rupees per pack. And I say, 5 rupee multiplied by 5 pack is 25. I give 100. Something is wrong somewhere. So I say, let me go back, and let me see, let me clarify the situation. So then, because I didn't want to create any trouble to the person, but I expressed the poor to face, means, because that was cheating in some way. So let me go back to the person and say, excuse me, look at, it's 5 rupee, and I give you 100 rupee, and you understand properly quickly. And even, so that was the power to face, but, so it means I have my power to face. I mean, I stand up, for the truth, for the right, but I express, with gentleness, with respect, not with, being, unsatisfied or nervous or irritating or, unhappy, just say, no, that's the price, and, I just want for my money, And to make the person still happy, I say, okay, no, I have a difference of 75 rupees, so I will buy for 75 rupees more of, chocolate or something, Then he was happy, and I was happy myself, and I clarify the situation like that. So I express with the sweetness, but, I was the power to face inside, but I was strong inside. I will stand up for the righteousness, but express, politeness, respect, and amability still.
So here you are being strong, you're being courageous, you're being confident, but at the same time it doesn't mean that we are being arrogant or we are trying to show other person as anything lesser, but we are still holding on to our sweetness and our own virtues of goodness, at the same time holding on to what is true and what is right, yes. So here I could see a balance. So you could, when you shared the story, it is easier to understand. But when it comes to other values, there are sometimes some people who say this, and I often hear it, too much is too bad. So when we have an extreme of one value, is it bad?
No, as I say again, if you have the balance, for example, if you have the extreme of peace, if you have the balance with determination and activity and aim and a goal, and you go for it, and you maintain your peace as you do your work as much as possible, totally, fully into peace, there is nothing wrong about it, because it's totally balanced with your activity and your determination and willpower, But if you have only your peace, and your peace say, I'm peaceful, I'm okay, peace is important, I become passive, and I become lazy, and then I become empty, and we know that, empty mind is the workshop of the evil, so, because then you can have so many wrong thoughts, because you are empty, you can take all the influence of the outside world, or even from the inside, that what's old on your memories, without even know that,
Yeah.
So that is why, for me, that is why there is never a limit for a value, as long as is balanced with the proper other value, like love with law, like purity with a practical life, like power with sweetness, So yes, just like that, yeah. And with again with knowledge, which can be too much intellectual activity, with some practical work, manual work, So yes, you balance, like that.
So this is something that many people understand, that okay, this is something that I could do. As much as I understand the balance of values, there are also times when people face challenges with I would like to do this, I would like to be a sweet person, but somehow it is not my nature. I have always been a strong person who would speak truth. And when I speak truth, I do not care for other person's views because I am speaking truth. So this happens. Not that they do not understand this, but because of that, they also face criticism from other people saying that, oh, he always boasts that he thinks that he is true. But just because you're true does not mean that you have the right to be arrogant or be rude to people. So sometimes people who have that nature in themselves want to bring about a change, but they do not know how to do it. They want to create that balance that, yes, I speak truth, but I don't want to be harsh at the same time. But they don't know how to create that balance. So if a person like this would come to you and if he or she would say that, I would want to develop this, how would you help them in developing these things?
Yeah, it's. I think we have to face, all of us, this type of attitude, because all of us, obviously, we have some wisdom, some understanding, and we know clearly what is right and correct, and obviously we would like that everything becomes the best, in our life. So when we see something which is incorrect, and in our own point of view, obviously we stand up for the truth, and we express the truth. Yeah. Now the thing is, if you have again, this balance, for me also, I hold on the truth very strongly, and I cannot accept that something is incorrect or against the truth, that's also part of my personality. But in the same times, and I'm still learning, I'm not perfect in that balance, but in the same time, I know that I should never harm the people. I should not harm their feeling. So for that, I always try as much as possible from my side, and I'm not yet perfect, but to understand why someone has created this opinion which looks a bit far from the truth, What is, from which point of view, from which type of wisdom is speaking. Because, there is always a reason, a wisdom for someone making a statement. And if I understand properly that, at least I have learned something, and I have understood something new. And then I and because I understand something new from that person, naturally the respect will come to that person. And because I learn and respect, then my way of expressing will not be so harsh and tough towards that person, even if I think that that's not really the truth, or is not the moment to speak like that, and there is a better way to speak, even that. But because sometimes people speak of out of context, and in that context, it doesn't suit. But in other contexts, it suits perfectly. I can really properly understand, or in which glasses you see the situation, So according to which glasses you take, so let me watch sometimes the world with the same glasses that people have, So then I can say it's acceptable. I can understand. It's one aspect of wisdom. It's not maybe the proper wisdom, but it's an aspect of wisdom. And then I respect. And because I respect, naturally, I will, because respect will come because I know that person has some wisdom, some understanding, some cleverness, some goodness, some quality. Yeah. And I cannot go against that. Yeah. And so I cannot harm that. Yeah. Because that is life. That's the quality of life. And so I have to take care of life. So my understanding of the other will allow me to take care of life. And then to express myself in the soft way,
Yeah, true. Okay. That is a beautiful thought to understand that, yes, I might be correct, but that does not give me the right to harm other people or to make them feel bad. But to understand that, you have also told how you have to create a balance of your own power and virtue together. And with that perfect harmony, with that balance, you evolve as a better person. You come out as a person who is more acceptable to everyone. And as much as we understand that too much is too bad, but at one point of time, you must also understand that I am complementing that with something else. And I think it is a difficult choice now to make whether I want to be a mango or a coconut. And I'm pretty sure that our audience are wise enough, and after this discussion, they will choose wisely. And some of them would certainly say that, oh, I would be a little bit of coconut and a little bit of mango.
Yeah, because when you are weak, we prefer to be a coconut to protect ourselves. That's the point. Yes, surely, yes.
Yes. But I think it is a choice that we can all make now with better understanding and in the proper light of knowledge.
And education will help for sure. Yes, yes.
Yes. And thank you very much for sharing those insights again. And thank you for coming to this studio and helping us to be which fruit to choose from.
It was a pleasure to have such a discussion, on balance, and I think we have been a balanced discussion.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we hope that you keep coming again. Thank you so much. Friends, that was Light of Knowledge for today. And we have had a pretty good discussion. It's not just being good. It is also about being strong. It's not just about being sweet, but also having the courage of facing the truth. So the balance between virtues and powers are also something that we must develop inside. And that creates a perfect personality. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll see you again. Till then, take care.